Okay, we're now entering the realm of apocalyptic comedic calamity, where the sheer scale of the disaster is so disproportionate and absurd, it loops back around to being hilariously extreme. This isn't just an individual's bad day. It's a city-altering, globally televised, utterly ridiculous downfall of epic proportions. I'll put this at an 11/10 on the extreme calamity scale, venturing into a more surreal, larger-than-life disaster. The Unveiling, the Whale, and the Floating City fiasco. The setup. A coastal city is holding a grand ceremony to unveil its newest marvel, the Oceanic Observation Tower, a massive, technologically advanced structure designed to provide breathtaking views of the ocean, and even house a top-secret, deep-sea research lab. The city mayor, a notoriously pompous individual, is giving a live, globally televised speech from the tower's highest observation deck, surrounded by dignitaries, celebrities, and a flock of white doves ready for release. Calamity 1. The miscalculated release and the sky-high seagulls. As the mayor reaches his crescendo, he cues the release of the doves. However, due to a miscommunication, instead of a gentle release, a nervous intern trips a lever that launches them via a pneumatic cannon. The doves aren't gently flying. They're projected like feathered missiles at high velocity. Simultaneously, a swarm of aggressive, garbage-eating seagulls, drawn by the city's celebration waste, intercepts the trajectory of the doves. The sky above the tower becomes a chaotic, feathery battlefield, with squawking, feathers, and bird droppings raining down on the assembled VIPs, ruining expensive suits and coiffures. Calamity 2. The rogue robotic display and the exploding fountain. Distracted by the avian aerial combat, a technician overseeing the tower's grand unveiling light show accidentally flips the switch for the Oceanic Majesty robot display to maximum chaos. Instead of graceful movements, the three enormous, crane-like robotic arms, meant to project stunning visuals onto the ocean, begin to thrash wildly, malfunctioning in a synchronized, violent spasm. One arm, spinning uncontrollably, snags a large, decorative fountain below, filled with thousands of gallons of water and equipped with pyrotechnic jets for effect. The robotic arm rips the fountain from its base, sending it careening through the air like a giant, uncontrolled water balloon, which then explodes upon impact with a nearby, highly flammable inflatable mascot of the city's tourism board, creating a spectacular, watery firework display. Calamity 3. The deep-sea research specimen. Meanwhile, down in the tower's deep-sea research lab, a team was meant to be conducting a controlled observation of a newly discovered, extremely rare and very large deep-sea creature. Let's say a bioluminescent, oddly gelatinous leviathan of immense proportions, perhaps 100 feet long. The sudden, violent tremors from the robotic arm malfunction above, combined with the exploding fountain shockwave, cause a critical structural failure in the lab's primary containment tank. The tank ruptures with a colossal boom, and the giant, fluorescent, wobbly sea creature, in its confusion, begins to rise rapidly through the tower's central shaft, filling it with glowing, viscous goo. The ultimate cataclysm. The mayor, mid-sentence, witnessing the bird chaos, the exploding fountain, and now feeling the ominous vibrations, looks down from the observation deck, just as the enormous, glowing, gelatinous leviathan breaches the surface of the water next to the tower, creating a massive tidal wave. The wave isn't aimed at the shore, but rather at the enormous, structurally questionable floating stage built for the after-party concert. The wave hits the stage, breaking its moorings. The stage, complete with band equipment, giant speakers, and a fully inflated bouncy castle for children, becomes a rogue, motorized island, propelled by the force of the Leviathan's sudden surfacing. It then collides with the Oceanic Observation Tower itself, whose foundation has already been compromised by the earlier lab rupture. The impact, combined with the structural damage and the weight of the enormous, confused sea creature now partially inside the tower's lower levels, causes the entire Oceanic Observation Tower to list dramatically, groan, and then slowly, majestically, begin to topple, collapsing into the ocean in a spectacular slow-motion avalanche of steel, glass, and glowing goo. The mayor's final, terrified expression is captured just before the camera feed cuts to static. Why this is an 11/10 extreme calamity. City-scale impact. This isn't just a building, it's a prominent landmark, and its destruction is highly visible. Global audience. Live TV broadcast means the entire world witnessed the utter, ridiculous downfall. Multiple, compounding disasters, bird cannons, rogue robots, exploding fountains, unleashed leviathans, collapsing stages, and finally, the destruction of the main structure. Each event is ridiculous on its own. Absurd causation. The chain of events is so wildly improbable and specific, a bird cannon, a monster whale, a foam pit, that it pushes into extreme comedic territory. Environmental and property destruction. Massive, expensive structures destroyed, a city landmark gone. Threat to life, implied. While played for comedy, the scale suggests extreme peril. Animal involvement, exaggerated. Aggressive seagulls and a giant confused sea monster amplify the chaos. This is the kind of calamity that would be discussed for decades, turning a city's pride into a legend of absurd, total destruction. It's a disaster movie, but with a script written by a committee of mad jesters,